says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
Never wants to load.
If you've ever had this feeling, something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was. You've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
The alarming spike in cases has been discovered in more than 15 hospitals and long-term care facilities across southern Nevada. The dangerous and sometimes lethal drug-resistant fungal infection, Candida auris, is spreading across the state at the nation's most rapid rate. The CDC just warned the fungus posed a significant threat nationwide.
In a lot of situations, investigation will reveal that there are many more cases, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, and it's been spreading undetected for some time.
Showing it can evade antifungal drugs, Cioris, as it's known, can infect the bloodstream, heart, or brain, and is mostly connected to patients in healthcare settings. Spread from surfaces like bed rails or pieces of equipment, the fungus can also survive on the skin. Now in Nevada, where there's more than 1,000 cases, there are signs of community spread.
A lot of these patients are coming in with the infection already. And they have no previous medical history. So in those cases, we know they had to get it somewhere.
Quick to point out, Cioris isn't viewed as the next COVID. Health officials still say if it's not quickly contained, it could become a public health risk.
As the CDC works to find better treatments, those who are healthy are typically not at risk. But tonight, as cases climb nationwide, so is alarm.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show, exclusively here on acallforanuprising.com. I'm not sure if you guys have been following this thing with the deadly fungal infection spreading at an alarming rate, according to the CDC. They're saying more and more people are catching this fungal infection. Now, there's two ways to look at this story. You can look at it from the standpoint of are they creating something again to get more people vaccinated, or is this actually the vaccine taking place? Is this just an excuse for all these people who are now finally getting their kick from their boosts, et cetera, because it sounds that it's more like that than an actual fungal infection. Now, fungal infections are a real thing, right? But literally, people just took poison into their bodies, right? I mean, they took fungus, right? They took a black goo into their bodies. And at some point, we all know, and we've all said over the years, it's going to kick in, especially if they keep going and getting boosted. So what's interesting about this deadly fungal story isn't so much that it's out there, and it isn't so much, that there's stories like this, conveniently from January 31st, new vaccine targets life-threatening fungal infections. And of course, now all of a sudden in April, we're having a fungus outbreak. I wonder what kind of technology it is. Oh, it's mRNA. Oh, convenient, right? I mean, at some point they're going to tell you, you're going to get like 15 mRNA vaccines. People are going to get 15 mRNA vaccines a month. They might just have like every, I guess, do 5 at once to go every 3 days in a row, and then, they'll give you paid leave for work time, give you 3 extra days so you're in your coma in your house. If you come out of it, see you next month. We'll do it again. And they'll say, hey, here's a vaccine for boogers. Here's a vaccine for coughing. Here's a vaccine because you have an itch in your butt crack. Well, we'll give you a vaccine for all of it.
Oh, no.
Right? Because like I said in the video yesterday, if you didn't see it, they're going to do whatever they can to get mRNA in people. So we can look at it from that perspective. But if you actually read between the lines here with the deadly fungal infection, it does kind of sound like this is going to be another way that they cloak over all of these people who are going to start croaking from actually being vaccinated, because it's targeting people with weak immune systems and it's targeting the elderly. Again, right? Anyone suspicious yet? They say a drug-resistant and potentially deadly fungus has been spreading rapidly through U.S. healthcare facilities. According to a new government study, the fungus, a type of yeast called Candida auris or C. auris, can cause severe illness in people with weakened immune system. The number of people diagnosed with infections, as well as the number of those who were found through screening to be carrying C. auris, has been, they put C. auris. Anyway, U.S. researchers from the CDC and Prevention reported on Monday, the increases, especially in the most recent years, are really concerning us. How interesting. So there's an increase. That's more language there that makes you think.
I think I lost it.
Is this something they're actually spreading
I
and
lost
doing?
it a long time ago.
Or they're seeing that it's increasing in the last couple of years. Well, what has happened in the last couple of years? Well, a bunch of idiots have gone and put poison in their bodies, right? So then you think, well, aren't people going to notice when all these people start dying? Well, no, because they'll have other things to blame it on, and the media will never ever talk about it being the vaccine, so none of these people will ever think it is, because they just get told what to think, right? So the increases, especially in the most recent years, are concerning to us, said the study's lead author, Megan Lyman, chief medical officer at the CDC's mycotic disease branch, has said in an interview, she said, "We've seen increases not just in areas of ongoing transmission, but also in new areas." Oh, so just another new thing popping up conveniently after everybody just went and took poison into their body. So the CDC's new warning, published in the Annals of Internal Medicine, comes as the Mississippi Department of Health is fighting a growing outbreak of the fungus. Since November, 12 people have been infected with C. auris, with 4 potentially associated deaths. Right? Oh, interesting. There's been ongoing transmission at 2 long-term care facilities, although cases have been unidentified at several other facilities in the state. Unfortunately, multi-drug resistant organisms such as C. auris have become more prevalent among our highest risk individuals, such as residents in long-term care facilities. Okay? So, talking about old people in retirement communities or etc., right? Where it was mandated in nursing homes, you couldn't stay in the nursing home if you were old and you didn't get vaccinated. They made you get it. Now, most old people lined up to get it because they were so fearful that they were going to die from it. So they went and got it. Most of them are dead, right? Most of them are gone. So, anybody suspicious yet? They say the fungus can be found on the skin and throughout the body. According to the CDC, it's not a threat to healthy people, but about 1/3 of people who become sick with C. auris die. So 1/3, 33 by the way, percent. In the CDC report, researchers analyzed state and local health department data on people sickened by the fungus from 2016 through 2021, as well as those who were colonized, meaning they were not ill but were carrying it on their bodies with the potential of transmitting it to others. Oh, it sounds like shedding.
That's what I've said.
The number of infections increased by 59% to 756 from 2019 to 2020, and then by an additional 95% to 1,471 in 2021. The researchers also found that the incident of people not affected with the fungus but colonized by it increased by 21%. So, if you look at this from, standing back and looking, right, you hear the story and you're like, oh crap, they're planning another pandemic, which we already know they're doing, right? We know there's going to be another one. It's been said over and over again. From Bill Gates having a book conveniently ready to go months ago talking about it, to Biden talking about we got to, have money ready for the next pandemic. They've all been talking about it. We know it's coming, right? So when we hear stories like this, we immediately think, oh crap, is this it? Is it the bird flu story? What's their plan here? But what really should be happening is, one, people should be stepping back and saying, well, why all of a sudden is there this spike in fungal disease, right? Like nobody really, even though, I'm sure you can get a fungal infection or whatever, nobody's known somebody, right? No one knows anyone with it, and it's spiking, it's spiking, it's spiking. Like the map shows, it's increased all over the place. And if we keep hearing stories like this in the mainstream media, we should be asking ourselves, well, why? So we have all these spikes in Alzheimer's, we have spikes in autism, we have spikes in, you name it, right? Name a disease, there's a spike in it. We have fertility rates in the toilet. We have young adults dropping dead. So many things, but nobody goes, why is all this happening? And why is all this chaos happening at once, right? Like, has the world ever had so much chaos? Like when September 11th happened, it was just like about September 11th for like 10 years, right? But life went back to normal. You see it going back to normal. The economy's crashing. There's food shortages. There's war. There's COVID. There's vaccines being pushed down everyone's throat. There's idiots walking around wearing masks like complete zombies. There's fentanyl drug crisis. People walking around the roads literally like zombies. Right? No one's going, hey, it's a little suspicious all this stuff's happening at once. And then, you know, the stories just keep coming out like this. Deadly fungal infection, right? Bird flu vaccines and bird flu spreading to humans. So you can look at it from the standpoint, are they creating this and doing this, or are they going to start, you know, making things up to get more people vaccinated, which I do believe. And at the same time, how are they going to cover for all these people who are continuing to get boosted who are just going to croak? Right? They're going to go to the doctor and say, oh, you know what? We found C. auris in your deceased father. And they're like, what is C. auris? It's a fungal infection. Oh, but it's really the fungus known as the poison from the vaccine, right? So stories like this are going to continue to come, and this is something they're starting to push now too, at the same time as they're pushing the bird flu. And they're saying, you know, oh, it's perfectly normal. This happens all the time. I mean, they even talk about it shedding from people's skin to other people's skin, right? Nothing to be suspicious about here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, give me a break. Anyway, I wanted to let everybody know about it. I thank everyone for being here on the website. I appreciate you guys who are here. I love the stuff going on in the forum. Keep it up. And again, I appreciate the support. God bless all of you and your families.